Okay, here is my primary defense weapon, and it's called a Bubba stick, as you can see there, and it is, let's see if I can get this to focus. I don't know if I can. Or if you can read that. But what it says is Bubba stick, made in Texas by Texans. I like that. That's great. And I need it to walk around anyways. That or my regular cane. Here, as you can see, that's quite empty, and it has no magazine for all the safety people out there. I have not had the opportunity to shoot it, however. So, all I can say about it is the fit and finish is fine. It's not great, but I believe it cost me about $330, and for that, for a 9mm, and from a well-respected name in firearms, Ruger. This is a P95, and you know, it seems to me to be a very well-built and relatively fine finished firearm. It has a decocker safety. When you see the white dot, of course, that means it's safe. And it has the only thing that bothers me about it is it has this slide catch right there, but it sticks out quite a bit. I don't know if you can see it or not. I think you can. It sticks out a lot. Unlike the safety doesn't bother me. I actually don't use it that much. I would not carry this with a round in the chamber and a magazine in there full like that. I would use that, and then I'd just push it back up because the pull, the double action pull, is relatively heavy, but it's nice. It's nice and smooth, and it fits my hand really well. Takedown is fairly similar to a 1911, say. Inside here, there's a little goodie that you gotta push that down in order to take it apart. That's really the only difference. I don't know if I can. There, it's lit up well. You can see it on the right there. See that? You push that forward like that, and then you align it and push out the slide catch. and you can just push it back up with your finger. Ruger recommends just putting an empty magazine in there, and you just insert it and it pushes it up. However, I only have 2 magazines and they're loaded. So if I don't want to stick a loaded magazine in my gun here, I just use my finger like I did. And I also like, there's a lot of take-up. See that? There's a lot of take-up in that. But after you've taken that up, there's a tad of creep, and it's not a real smooth creep. But like I said, I haven't fired it after I put a few hundred rounds through it. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. We'll find out. At any rate, just from what I can tell, tabletop type examination and dinking around and dry firing it seems to be a pretty good handgun. I don't know. The sights I like, they're just your standard 3-dot. And I like it. It really fits my hand just perfect. In fact, I compared when I bought this. That was one of the things that I really wanted. If I was going to have a double stacked capacity, notice I didn't say high capacity. A double stacked capacity magazine in a handgun, I wanted to have it fit my hand, really, and it does. Perhaps some would say that my finger wraps too far around. I have very long fingers and relatively large hand, not big fat muscular fingers, but they're long and skinny, and they tend to wrap around and things can get in the way, or it's hard for me to find a pistol that fits my hand. And this one, the first time I picked it up and held it, I liked the feel right away. I also liked the fact that it didn't have this huge, big, flat area on top. Just one big. It's got a rounded, radiused edge to it, and it's still got plenty of flat plane up there, so you can get quick target acquisition, which is the one of the reasons why that huge, wide, flat style came in, is because it's easier to get fast acquisition. Although I don't know if that helps all that much. I never had any trouble. I used to have a 1917 model 1911, not the 1911A1. At that time, they hadn't come out with that yet. It had the flat mainspring housing on the back, and boy, I really loved the way that felt in my hand. That was about the best firearm I believe I've ever owned. It didn't even work though when I first tried it out. It was the feed ramp, which is shining nicely in this one, was all roughly machined, and it was Parkerized on top of that. So when you put a loaded magazine in and pulled the slide back, it would jam that bullet in there and it would just stop. There was way too much friction on that feed ramp. So I just took some emery cloth and worked on it for a few hours, just rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, and finally it was smooth and slick as glass. And then I took it out to fire it the next day, and it worked perfect. It fired everything. I had a bunch of ball ammo that I used first, and then I used some Spear 200 grain hollow point reloads that I did myself. They work perfect. And then I tried some hard cast lead flat nose 45 230 grain. They work perfect. And I had some other various self-defense law enforcement type hollow points, conical shape they were, and they all work perfect. And in fact, I never had another jam, I never had a stovepipe, never had nothing go wrong ever the whole time I had that gun, after I took the emery cloth to the feed ramp. So I was really happy with that. I wish I'd never had to sell it, to tell you the truth, but hey, stuff happens. I lost my job, and so I had to eat, so the guns went, all of them. I had quite a collection at the time, and it took me a while to get another job. Anyhow, I'm babbling and wandering here. To get back to the subject, I can't wait to get out and shoot this, along with my rifles and shotguns and various other things that I bought since then, firearms, and we're going to make that happen soon, and I'll try and put a video up about that. Anyway, the rest of the stuff here is some of my everyday carry. This here is first and foremost, never without it. And I have this Leatherman, and this I don't carry every day, but most days. Sharpening steel. And I have this cheap copy of a Swiss Army knife. I actually have the real one, is in one of my bug out bags. I got a couple of those. And I got my harmonica. You know, you just got to have your harmonica with you. You just have to have some means of entertainment. Now, of course, I have an iPod and all that stuff, but this doesn't need any batteries. It doesn't need to be recharged. And that's just in the way. Then I have my favorite knife. It's a Buck Hunter, and it's good. I don't care. It's heavy. Now, nothing fancy would say, "Oh, that's way too heavy," but I like it. So, you know, what can I say? And then I have I don't have very good eyes anymore. I'm over 60 years old, so so I got something to help me out here. I got my glasses, and then I have this triplet. It's a 10-power magnifying device, and it works great when I gotta read something or see something that's really fine, super fine. Then, of course, I got one of my two iPods and my cell phone, and I got this. This is great. I got this from the Sci-Fi Channel. You can see the little insignia there. And it lights up. If you think you're going to use your pen by pushing on that button, you're wrong. You're just going to light it up. I don't know why I got it, but it was free, so I got it. And if you want to actually use the pen, you gotta turn. It's like a cross pin. You gotta twist it, and then you can use it. Anyhow, I carry that with me when I go out and about, because I found out that you're always going to need a pen or a pencil. Most times a pen. So I carry that with me, and let's see if I can put this back in the carrier here. Yeah. Hey, and that covers most of my little stuff. I got some more. I'll do that a little bit later and try and edit it in.